Alright, hello everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. Before we start off with today's video, I just want to give a huge thank you for helping my channel reach 10,000 subscribers. It feels very surreal and I'm just so grateful and I can't say thank you enough. I'm so thankful for this community, and I just want to say thank you if you've taken the time to just pop in and say hello or just watch a video, or if you're subscribed to the channel. I just want to say thank you for spending your time with me, and it is very appreciated and it does not go unnoticed. Just want to throw that out there, but we are officially at 10K, which is very exciting and validating, I would say, for me. I thought for today's video we could do something a little less planner and paper related, and I could talk about my favorite journal and planner supplies. Most of these supplies I would use no matter what book I'm using, so whether I'm in Rings, the Traveler's Notebook, Hobonichi, whatever it is, these are like my must-have supplies. I'm always using these no matter what format of the book that I'm using, and they're things that just like help me both functionally and creatively. I don't have a lot of supplies. I want this to be like very bare bones, like Tori's essentials. And so it's not going to be like super exciting or flashy, I would say, but these are the things I definitely can't live without when it comes to my journaling and planning, and the things that I have bought multiple repeats of. We'll do the pen case last. We're gonna do like all my pen supplies last, but we'll go through these three first. First thing, as you can tell by how like beat up and dusty she looks, is a pencil board. This has made its rounds with me through my Hobonichi books, through my Rings. I always need something to help me draw straight lines or straight edges, and this is in the week size. I've tried the A6 size, and I don't know what it is about the weeks. I think just because it is like tall and narrow, it just feels like the perfect size no matter what book I'm in. If it's A5, if it's A6, any book I'm in, this has been the sweet spot size for me. And anytime I've ever bought an A6 pencil board, I just quit using it because it just doesn't like feel right, and it's not as tall and like versatile, I would say. So this, definitely my number one pencil board. It's with me all the time. Next is these clear pockets. Hopefully you can see this, and I don't know if the glare is going to make it weird, but I love using the clear adhesive pockets. There's a ton of different brands and pockets that I've tried and used in the past, but I definitely would say that the Traveler's Notebook and the Hobonichi adhesive pockets are my favorites. There's one that comes in the Weeks book, which is this one right here. I love the Hobonichi Weeks clear adhesive pocket. I pretty much always use it. I wish they sold these separately because I would buy them in a heartbeat. But I also really like the Traveler's Notebook ones, and they usually come in a 3-pack. This is just the one that I have not used up already, but I'll show you the other one I'm currently using. Might be a little hard to tell, but they usually do these slightly angled corner ones as well, and I love using these as pockets for inside the books. And I would say that's definitely like a staple for me that I have used throughout my time in my notebooks. So adhesive pockets for sure. You can keep ephemera in there, stickers, whatever. They're just like really versatile. And then lastly, this is kind of a new favorite, so I wouldn't say it's been with me very long, but I can tell it's like a S tier supply now, and I'm definitely going to be repurchasing these. And this is the transparent sticky notes. These are specifically from Muji. I have tried other ones in the past, like ones I found on Amazon and just like random shops, and they have never, I don't know, I've always had a very tough time with them. For some reason, these Muji ones just like hit the spot. They're super easy to write on. I just write on them with like my gel pen. They dry super quick. They don't smudge. They don't like catch or skip when you're writing on them, and I think they're so versatile, and it was kind of like a light bulb moment for me when I realized like how many things I could do with this. So I will show you an example. Currently, I am using them in 2 different ways, which you'll see right here, which kind of surprised. I'm in a Hobonichi right now, just doing more experiments. But I started using this as a tool for my to-do list. I love that they're transparent because I can see the grid behind them. And I also love how thin they are because I don't feel like they are chunking up my book when I have them inside. Before using these as my to-do list, usually I would just use a sticky note like this and I would put it down in my weeks, which works fine. I think it just depends on like the type of person you are and how you work. But for me, this is not necessarily cohesive, I guess I would say. Like it feels kind of scattered, even though I did try to do them in a list form. I didn't really like referencing this and looking at what to-dos I still had left because it just felt kind of messy. And then I think like the big block of color against my weekly page was kind of abrasive in a sense. I don't know if any of this makes sense or if this is like a super niche preference of mine. But when I tried these ones, I was like, oh, these are super kind of like minimal looking. They're not in your face. And then having the grid in the back is really, really nice. And then I decided, well, in the past, I have really liked using art in my weekly pages just so it can break up some of the text and it just gives a little bit more visual appeal and it helps me upkeep my like art practice, I would say. And so I thought to myself, okay, what if I started doing little sketches on these? And then that way it's not permanent if I try and sketch something on the actual paper. And so if I mess up or I hate it, I don't have to like stare at it and look at it. And so I tested one out and I just drew these like little pomegranates on this branch. And I really, really liked this idea because now whenever I do like a little sketch or a little drawing, I can kind of just place it anywhere that fits my aesthetic taste for the week. And so I can put it in an empty space, I can put it over writing, and I just like it because it's not permanent. It's super thin and the adhesive on the back is not super, super sticky or abrasive. So it's really easy to remove and move around. My thoughts currently are that I'm going to take these off and just store them in the back of my book whenever I'm done using them. And so at the end of the week, I don't have to look at a to-do list. I can just look at my logs and my writing and my art, and I don't have to look at the productive bits, and like those can be moved out and transferred and archived somewhere else. And I just think aesthetically, like they're really pretty and really cool, and it's a new favorite for sure. So I don't know how well other transparent sticky note brands work and operate. Like I mentioned, these are the Muji ones. And something else I really, really like about Muji is just they're very affordable. This will definitely be a repurchase for me in the near future. And I'm just excited to experiment with these a little bit more and see how I can use them functionally and creatively. Currently, I am carrying everything in this Delphonics pen case. I like this pen case. It's not my absolute favorite, but I am kind of a pen case snob, I would say. I have very particular preferences when it comes to pencil cases. So this is one of my like current favorites. I don't think it's perfect, but I do really like it. And something that I do like it is when it tips over, or even if you like put it upside down when it's unzipped, your stuff doesn't fall out. I think it's really annoying when you're in a pen case and it tips over and just stuff spills out. I don't like that. So I do like that it's like structured, but it's still a little bit like squishy and pliable. And I think this pink color is just like chef's kiss. So first one is just like a tiny pair of scissors. These are actually sewing scissors that I've had for a couple years. This one is from the brand Singer. I think I got these at like Michael's or something, maybe like a long time ago. But I really like them because they have a very sharp point, and so they're really nice to just cut very small ephemera sticker items when I need to, and they're just really small and compact, and they've stayed sharp for a number of years now, and I haven't needed to replace them, so I've just kept them with me. So tiny pair of scissors. Next is an eraser, kind of boring. This is the Pentel eraser. I've been trying to use pencil a little bit more lately, especially when I am drawing in different formats or layouts or little experiments that I'm doing. And so just having a big eraser on hand has been like very handy, and I'm not using up the ones on my pencil. So keeping an eraser with me. Let's do this one. This one you've probably seen on my channel before. It's a fan favorite for me, but this is the white Posca paint pen. I love using these whenever I am in the Hobonichi books, and specifically the ones with the white paper. I really like experimenting with the layouts and whiting out the lines and drawing in my own. I like the white Posca pens because they don't bleed through to the other side of the paper, and they're not 100% opaque, so you can see through them a little bit, and it's not a super abrasive white color like a whiteout might be. I really like using these, and I've kind of always just had one on me in case I need to like block out some of the numbers or some of the lines, or if I just want to change it up a little bit. Next, let's do the pencil. I've tried a bunch of different pencils, like the super fancy ones, the metal ones, cheap plastic pencils, and this is like my favorite mechanical pencil. I feel like if you grew up kind of like 90s baby or 2000s baby, like these were the cool kid pencils, and if you had this one, like you were making it in life. And I just really like them. I don't know, I like that you can twist up the eraser. I like the little grippies right here, and it's just like really solid. And I feel like the lead, I don't know, I just feel like it's always a lot more sharp than my other lead, and I don't know if that's just like a placebo, but this is the 0.5 Papermate mechanical pencil, and again, I think it's just like a really solid option, and I find myself never needing to replace these because they just like last forever. So favorite pencil currently. And then we will get into the two markers. So I'm not a big marker girly, I will admit. I like to keep these very, very minimal. And these two I think are kind of like my top favorites ever. For a like pop of color, or when I'm needing to point something out, I like using this Sailor Shikiori. This is in the color Yodaki, which I'll show you what it looks like. I like using these to signify birthdays in my monthly calendars because I just think it helps them stand out a little bit more. So for example, here's June, but like July, I had a lot of birthdays, and if I didn't have these red signifiers pointing out, like these names would get really lost in my monthly calendar pretty easily. So I like either writing in people's names with the red or circling the date in red. I think it just like calls out, but it's not super, super abrasive. This one is really nice because it's double-sided. You have like the brush tip end, which is a lot bigger, and then the one that I always use is just the tiny little like felt. I don't even know if that's felt really. I don't know what the like material is, but it's the fine nib of the marker, and that's the one that I always use. And this one has just been really solid for me. They have a ton of colors. I know they have markers that come in like packs that will save you a little bit of money, but yeah, definitely when I'm needing to call attention to something in my planner, this guy. And then the other marker that has just been a solid, I think this is also another one that is a fan favorite in the community, is the Zebra mild liner in warm gray. I don't know, this one's in Japanese, so I cannot tell which color gray it is. It's either the mild gray or warm gray. I want to say it's the mild gray. And then this one I like using a lot in like trackers, and when I'm wanting to point something out but not have it be super abrasive again either. So right here, I think you'll be able to tell, it's kind of hard to see, but I used this mild liner to track the days that I went to the gym, and it's, I don't know, I feel like it's just like a perfect gray color. It's not too dark, not too light. It's really neutral for me, and I think you can just use it in a lot of different ways, and that's kind of how I've used it throughout the years. It's just very versatile color and marker, and again, it doesn't bleed through to the other side for me, which is really nice, and just very easy and accessible to find. So those are my two staple markers, the ones that I always have to have on me. Next are my pens. I go through very different pen phases in my life, so I'm going to show you guys my top 3 for different reasons. These are the 3 pens that I always find myself coming back to. For aesthetics alone, I really like the Uniball Signo RT. This is in the pink color. I don't use the ink that these come with. They come with like a pink gel ink, but I always just take that out and put my own favorite ink in here, which I'll show you in a minute. But I just think this is, again, like the perfect pink color. I love it for aesthetics, and I do think it is very comfortable. It has a little bit of a grippy hand hold placement thing right here, and then the clicker is also satisfying to me. That's something for my neurodivergent brain that is very important. But for aesthetics, I love this pen. It's really cute. I'm a pink girly. For erasable pens, this is the Pilot Friction Zone, and this one, it says 05, but I have a 07 refill in here. This one I really, really like when I want something very, very bold and something that flows really, really nicely. So I will show you how this one writes. I'm not currently using this one because, again, I have to like get in a very specific mood to change around my pens. But I do really like this one because, again, it is erasable. So when you want to erase, you can. It is very bold, but it really, really glides like super smoothly, which I like. And it also doesn't bleed through to the other side. As we've known, the stanzin paper is very picky and a little sensitive. So whenever I'm wanting something that's not going to bleed or shadow super badly to the other side, it's very bold and it's just like really comfortable to write with, this is the one that I like to go for. They have a 05, but it's just not as black as I would like it, and I don't think it's as comfortable to write with. This one literally just feels like you are writing with like butter. Like, it's so smooth. And so this is the one pen that I like when I'm in one of those moods specifically. But my all-time favorite pen is this guy. And I think it's so underrated and no one talks about it, and they're so hard to find, which is so annoying. But this is the Zebra Sarasa Dry Air Fit Grip pen. I have only ever found these on Cloth and Paper and Stationery Pal, and this one is truly disgusting. My little grippy is ripping because I accidentally cut it with scissors one time. I really need to get a new one, but I just haven't. And the sticker is kind of gross, but I love the grippy on here. It's super, super comfortable. I don't think I'm super picky when it comes to writing with things. Like, I'm not someone who gets a lot of pain or discomfort when I'm writing for any amount of time, but this one is so comfortable, and I really, really like the squishy grip. I like that she's a bit of a chunky pen, and I love the gel ink that is in here. This is a 0.5 like pen body, but they also have gel ink refills that are the 0.4 size. So that is what I currently have in this pen. And so I always keep a bunch of these pen refills on me because I just love it so much. And like, I go through this gel ink really, really fast because I just find myself wanting to write when I'm in this pen. And it's just like a very pleasant experience overall. And I just really, really like this pen and this ink. And I always try to like stray away from it and like try the next trendy new like Uniball pen or whatever it is. And I just always find myself coming back to this. I'll show you what it looks like in here. So like here is the week that I did. That is all the zebra pen. I just think it's like the perfect amount of bold and fine. It's like a very happy medium, and thankfully it's not bleeding through to the other side at all. There's definitely a lot of shadowing and ghosting, but for the most part it's not super abrasive and super strong. It's not really bleeding through to the other side. And again, I just think it's like fine enough that you can read what you're writing, but it's bold and thick enough where like aesthetically it's very nice to look at. And so this is what I've been using. It's also the pen that I have been using for these little drawings on the sticky note, and like it doesn't smudge, it doesn't smear, which is really nice. The only thing that really stinks about this pen, and I think it's not really like this pen, it's just like a gel ink thing, is that it does smear if you try to highlight over it. So whenever I need to highlight my writing, I always have to do a highlight or like a marker before and then write on top, because if you try to do it on it, it will start smudging, and that's like the only downside, but that's kind of like a gel ink problem, not really a pen problem. So those are all of my favorite supplies. I know it's not like super flashy and exciting and crazy, but I think when it comes to like your staples and your everydays, they should just be like, I don't know, really solid for you. And these are the ones that I've kind of collected and accumulated throughout the years that just really have stuck with me through it all, no matter what I'm using. And I would definitely recommend them. I will have everything that I can find link below, but if you have any questions on anything specifically, definitely put that in the comments. If you guys would like to see a more broad stationery supply video, like favorite washi tapes or stickers or like more accessory type things, let me know and I can make one of those. But I really wanted this to just be like my foundational pieces and the ones that I actually carry and use with me every single day. So that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.